Welcome into the Real Deal bye week episode here, and Luke, we were just talking about before we started this. When you think about bye week, people think about you're getting, guys that have been injured healthier, but you've been banged up, kept playing, but these weeks are vitally important for everybody on the team because it takes a toll on your body when you play 5 games, doesn't it?
Sure. Oh yeah, and getting into SEC play, that's really what you get. And we talked about the difference of playing injured and playing hurt. Fortunately, I've just been a little nicked and bruised, so this is a great week to take care of that, both in the training room and in the weight room. We've been doing a lot of stuff in there, so yeah, I mean it's a vital week in SEC football. People don't realize it, but the way you go about it, you can either get better or you can stay the same. So definitely think that we're getting better this week and getting guys healthy.
How important is a bye week, especially when you're talking about first-year staff, new offense, new defense, those things, to do self-scout this week, to go, okay, let's look at what we've done. You don't have to worry about an opponent. How vital is this week to go, okay, let's clean up things that we've done that you don't really – I mean, you don't have a ton of time to do that during the season when you're game planning, do you?
Yeah, no, we don't. And you're usually worried about everybody else, and that's just is what it is because you get a bunch of different things every Saturday, but – we were blessed to have had some practices this week that we just got back to the basics, almost kind of like a fall camp, just feel to it in practice, just refining technique, a lot of individual time so we can get those techniques down, get back to the basics, and like you said, not worry about an A&M, a Georgia, and LSU, worried about the Auburn Tigers.
Yeah. What have you – I mean – I think you already had a good idea about this team, but what have you learned about this team now through 5 games heading into a bye week that you go, okay, maybe that's, anything that was a little unexpected, or what have you learned the most that you guys can take forward?
I learned that this team, I learned that this team is not going to back down from anybody. I learned that this team's very confident in how we approach different weeks. I feel like there's often a stigma in college football that when you face the number 1 team in the nation, you kind of back down a little bit. You're a little intimidated, and I didn't see that at all last week, and I know the fans didn't see that in the game, and I didn't see it during practice all week. So that's something that I really just thought about long and hard after that game because I'm one of those guys that loss tears me up a little bit for a couple days. But just the fact that our guys weren't intimidated or anything and went out, and we're very confident in who we are, and we can take each and every week and have the same mindset and mentality to every one of them. And I think that's what's going to cause us to go on a run if we can take it day by day and just continue to be us.
Improvement is the goal. That's the key to having a successful season. And from the outside looking in, even with the mistakes at A&M, it looks like this is a team that has steadily improved. Eliminating those critical issues are still the thing, but is that what you felt from inside? You're like, hey, we are getting better week by week.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's not just Saturday by Saturday. I think it's Tuesday practice by Tuesday practice, Wednesday by Wednesday, Thursday by Thursday, and just building off that each and every week. And like you said, that momentum that you get each week from getting better, whether there's a win or a loss, I know it's always a different feel in the locker room, but when you can tell that you're improving, that can give you some fire for the next week and give you some momentum for the next week. And I think our defense has really seen that. I think our offense last week really saw that, and that's something that we can look forward to.
When you guys turn on the film as an offense and see it, how close do you feel like you guys are to having a breakout game? Because it looks like each of the last 2 weeks there have been plays there for one reason or another, but just that close. Do you guys feel like we're right on the edge of having one of those types of games?
We're a few plays away. We are. Watching the film, it's different. It's a different kind of feeling than what we felt to A&M. A&M, we felt sick for that defense and just to our stomachs because we couldn't get anything going. After this week, when we watched the film, we were sick because we were so close. We had just minor details that fell apart. In critical areas of the game, just third down, fourth down, just things that we can fix and we can get better upon. So yes, we're only a few plays away from winning that football game and from winning more football games in the future.
Yeah. What about the mindset? The mindset of this team, because it is a back-to-back losses, but it's also a feel. I think the fan base feels it. I think the team feels it, where this is a program that's on the rise. Does it feel different than it has maybe the last couple of years, even though you've a couple of losses in a row?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I think having a couple losses in a row, it is different from having a couple losses in a row in the past, because the outside is so supportive of us right now and what we're building. However, I do think we still have that mindset that we're good enough to beat anybody in this league, and there are no moral victories for us. We've gotten better, like you said, in some way, shape, or form every single week. Not always put it all together, but we've had chances and opportunities and stuff that we can do better to where we win those football games. So I think there's a mixed feel. We're very excited and happy for the Auburn family to be behind us, but also we know that we're good enough to hang with a Georgia. We're good enough to beat a Georgia, to beat a Bama, to beat an LSU. Those guys, we're good enough for that, and we don't look for any moral victories in that.
What's the key now? You talked about all the things you guys are working on, getting ready. You got LSU ahead next week. The back half of this schedule tough, like it always is. What's the key? Is it execution? Is it going out and controlling the things you can control? Is that the mindset right now?
Absolutely. And I would say, for me personally, what I've thought about, being an older guy who's played in a lot of tough environments, I think a big key for us is to get some confidence brewing in an enemy environment. I think A&M's a good environment. I think LSU's a very, very good environment. And I think it's going to be a good test for us to go on the road, and because we saw in the Georgia game, right? I mean, we have that confidence. We have that swagger. We have our fans are into it. Can we do it whenever you're the only one, you're all you got?
Yeah.
That's going to be a big test for us, and I think if we can get that done in Baton Rouge and do the things that we need to do to execute, I think it'll set us up for the rest of the year.
Yeah. You got a weekend where you don't have practice. There's no game. What's Luke Deal doing on a Saturday when you don't have to worry about a game that afternoon or that night?
Yeah, so I'm going to split up the time between hanging out with the wife, spending some quality time with the wife, and maybe take the dog somewhere, do something. And I'm going to play a little bit of golf this weekend. I don't get to do that very often, so I'm gonna cherish it.
Yeah, will you try to sit down and watch LSU or do some of those things? Are you a game watcher for the next opponent? Or
I am. I enjoy watching a game. I enjoy watching a TV copy. Whenever I obviously watch a bunch of cut-ups of the team instead of I'm just more of a cut-up guy. I like to watch different formations and organize it myself, but I guess that's a different rant for a different time.
But I mean because that's how it is inside the building, inside a team where you're watching an all 22 copy. You're doing a lot of different things. So it's much different than watching it on a TV, isn't it?
It's still but it's still cool to listen to the guys on CBS and the voices that you've heard growing up in college football and watching, still being able to scout an opponent. So that's pretty cool. I'll probably do that too.
I got you. So there it is. Hopefully your plans will be something similar. Enjoy this weekend off and get geared up for the second half of this season. And Luke, tell them the deal.
War Eagle.